One of my favorite people is a lady sitting next to me. Her name is Derderian. She's vivacious, she's skilled, she's upbeat, and extremely persistent. Marie never says die, always goes the extra mile. And I'm going to ask her some questions which I think you'll enjoy, and you're going to enjoy even more the answers that I receive. And I wrote these questions down for you to absorb with me. So Marie, the first question, okay. And this sounds like propaganda, to be honest with you, but it's how I truly feel. What are the benefits you receive in being associated with Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices California Properties? What's the turn on for you?
Okay, I'm proud to belong to be an agent and to be working for Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Mulhearn Group because of the name recognition and all the programs that you provide to us, like, you know, cosmetic loan program, like, you know, bridge loan program. Would you mind to elaborate to my viewers, you know, explaining to them what, you know?
This is going to take about 6 hours. Now, one of the major programs that we really enjoy is the cosmetic repair program. Many folks have equity in their homes now they didn't have 6 years ago, but most homes that are used homes that are on the marketplace need repairs. They may be minor repairs, or they could be extensive, like a new kitchen or new bathroom. And most folks that own their homes that have them for sale have a difficult time providing capital to make those repairs. Our company has provided a program where we will allow them the capital, we'll give them a loan to have those repairs completed. And why would we do that? For our mutual benefit. I mean, let's be honest about it. If we can give something tangible to our seller, then we'll get our normal commission fee in exchange for it and have the ability to market the property. I tell folks specific examples. We lent one couple $7,000. We charged $350 for the use of the money, but it was to rejuvenate the landscape, repaint the trim, and put a brand new front door on the house. We truly believe that that home brought $15,000 more because those repairs were made. But they had to be made judiciously in the beginning, because if we had waited for the repairs to be made after the appraiser looked at the property, the appraiser could have downplayed the value based on the fact the house was not in the best condition. So that's the benefit. And the appraiser missed something that we caught, then the buyer with a buyer's inspector would catch it. So the program was developed, and you're using the program to say to our sellers, we want to get you the highest price in the least amount of time. You asked me the time I built you a Swiss watch, okay? Next question I'm going to pose to you.
Thank you.
And this is an interesting question, because sometimes in our lives we debate this. Who was, looking back on your life, who was the most influential person in your life that made you the person you are today?
First, my mother. She always was, you know, pushing me.
She's a chip off the old block. Or you're a chip off the old block.
I am. And then my son took her place after she passed away, and he is, you know, he always encourages me, and he doesn't let me when I'm down. He talks to me and changes my mood, and, you know, tells me not to worry, and so these two people, you know, had a big influence in my life.
Well, that's called unconditional love.
Yes.
And it's a support system for you. And I think all of us, no matter who we are, need some degree of encouragement in our lives. And if there's someone there for you, that helps a great deal. I just had lunch with my dear mother today. She'll be 95, and that'll be August. But I look back in my life, and my mother was as much an influence on me as your mother was an influence on you.
She must have been about maybe 40 years old when she had you.
Well, thank you, my dear. Anyway, I'll move on with that compliment. The next question, and I don't think this is a question that you should probably have a problem with, because I was going to ask the question, how do you fight complacency? If you are complacent in your life, it escapes me. I've never noticed it. Maybe you hide it well, but have you ever faced complacency? And if you have, what have you done about it?
Well, I do, and that's why I come to your Thursday morning meetings to to recharge my batteries and then to...
So we encourage each other that way.
Exactly.
We have our Thursday morning sessions from 7:30 to 9:30. It always surprises me when so many people show up that early in the morning, but we do the best we can to communicate thoughts and ideas that can be used. I mean, anyone can sit and listen to something being communicated to them, but what you do about it is the critical part. And I noticed that when you've taken advice from us, you have used it, which is important. And let me be candid, not everybody does that, you know.
Yeah.
So I thank you for that compliment. In regards to the next question, what continues to drive you? I mean, you're a combination of drive and empathy. You're a warm person. That's a balance in your life. But there has to be something there. Maybe it goes back to your mom, maybe it goes back to the way you were brought up. But what drives you?
Okay, I like to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to being a real estate agent, I was a tax preparer, so I did always try to help people. And then when I just, you know, quit and wanted to do something else, so I came to real estate because I love real estate and I love to help people. I'm happy when I put somebody in a home and they are so happy, okay, and they love it. And
you're fulfilling the dream for them.
Exactly.
Okay, that's great. And of course, drive, most people in this world have a problem with drive. You don't seem to have that problem. I guess that might be, from my viewpoint, having the entrepreneurial spirit. Something within you that compels you, I want to do more with my life. And I wish everyone had that, but it's very elusive for many people. The next question, because you've been through this yourself. We've just been through a 5-year recession in California. We're coming out of the recession, things are really brightening up. But what advice would you give to someone who would be faced with that kind of challenge? You faced it. What advice would you give to someone else who'd have to face it?
Well, I would tell them to, you know, at least be persistent, work at least 10 to 12 hours a day, at least minimum 5 to 6 hours, 5 to 6 days a week, and then do at least maybe twice open houses, set aside time for door knocking, and then the most important is to follow up. Never
be accountable.
Be accountable, yes.
And a lot of people fail in that area.
Yes.
I use the expression, when you have challenges, adaptability.
Mm-hmm.
Adaptability is the price we pay for survival and growth. And if we can't adapt, we can't survive, we can't grow.
That's correct.
So you've met that challenge. A lot of people have a difficult time with that challenge. I think having your goals reduced to writing so you can read the goals and say, I have to accomplish this objective, and I'm going to get involved in making sure that I can focus on getting those things accomplished. Mm-hmm. Okay, I was going to ask you, how many hours a day should a successful person work? And you already gave me the answer. You said 10 to 12 hours. I tease people, I said, 12 hours is only half a day, you see. But at least 6 hours. But it's interesting how you define hours. I mean, a person can show up at 9 o'clock in the morning and leave at 5 o'clock in the evening and say, well, I put in 8 hours a day. But if you examine what happened during the course of the day, the question is, how was that day invested? Were you in front of people that could make decisions? Were you negotiating transactions? Were you picking up the phone and prospecting for leads? Or were you just sitting around waiting for something to happen? It's not the hours, it's how you invest. What's the highest and productive use of my time? In terms of that situation, Marie, if you had 1 hour to invest in a day, what would be the highest and best use of that time for you?
Acquaintances, my family, my friends. And
the sphere of influence.
Sphere of influence, yes.
That's the gold mine in our business. I think a lot of people neglect it. These are people that I would call your A customers, the ones that assist you. But like everything else, if you don't keep touching them, they forget. And you have to be out there doing your follow-up to make it happen. Good response. With all your experience and knowledge, this is an interesting question. Looking back on all of our lives, if you had to start this business over again, would you make any changes in the beginning that you had to find out by accident, or would you do exactly what you did when you came into this business?
Well, if I would have, you know, if I had to restart, I would have, you know, all these houses that I've been selling, I would have bought some for myself and kept them, and I would have been maybe rich lady.
I think you're doing okay anyway. Let's not belittle what you've done. But you're right. Commissions come and go. But building an estate for yourself and having real estate that you own is a lifetime proposal for you, and it's a lifetime achievement. And unfortunately, most people, and a lot of people in our business who understand our business, don't take advantage of that particular situation, and you are. But all of us would like to do more. Okay.
Yes, of course.
All right. Tips. Someone that was fairly new to the business. I think you may have answered this already in a sense, but what is the highest and best way for them to improve their income, in your opinion?
Well, to spend their time wisely, to do something, at least every day, 3 to 4 hours, something which generates income, like door knocking, like, you know, open houses, like calling their sphere of influence, like, you know, education. And so we're going to seminars sometimes, which is not, you know, very productive, but you make progress, and you can be better and excel in your, you know.
You know, I've reached this stage in my life, I'm not apologizing for it, because we all ask ourselves the question, what's the highest and best use of my time? What can I delegate to someone else who, in a sense, earns less per hour than I do? Excuse me. In my position, I have someone else get my car washed for me. I give the keys to my car, and obviously I don't shop. I do all the things that I can delegate to someone else, I do, almost to the point of being extravagant about trying to save time. But again, it's a two-edged sword. When I was a salesperson in 10,000 years, I wouldn't have someone wash my car, because I figured if I wash my car, I'm going to be there for half an hour, and I'm going to meet 10 or 15 other people who are having their cars washed that I can communicate with. So the question on my mind is, how do I reach as many people as possible in the shortest possible time? But it depends, I guess, on what stage of the business you're in.
That's correct.
And you know, today we have a lot of our young people in our industry that say, well, I want my internet leads. And that's not a bad idea. The technology we have is good. But in my mind, it's just as good, if not better, to be sitting in an open house with a good window, having maybe 5 or 10 couples come through who know the neighborhood and know that you're in that neighborhood, and they're already preordained to get by and buy in this particular neighborhood if they can. So there's an interesting question there. I'm going to have a final question for, maybe not a question, but do you have any final thoughts? I would fail at retirement. I intend to be in this business forever. What are your intentions?
Same like you. I intend to not to retire and work until, you know, I can't work anymore.
Okay. You so feel fulfilled?
I feel fulfilled because I'm helping people, and you know, I do like to take vacations. You know, I don't want to be a workaholic. I do like to take, you know, once or twice a year vacations, and you know, that's a hobby of mine, and you know, I do fulfill those hobbies, but I still want to work until, you know, I'm no longer able to.
Your bucket list. If you had one place to visit, and you only had one choice of what that place would be, where would it be?
Okay, if I had one place to visit, I also already been in Spain and Italy just last year.
You can go back. So you have a right to go back.
Yeah, I love Spain. I wasn't very happy in Italy, but I do love Spain, and I would like to go back.
I think it was Marbella in Spain on the coast of the Mediterranean. One Sunday afternoon we took a train across Spain, first class in the train, linen cloths, crystalware, wine and a meal. It took about 4 hours. until we landed, or arrived at Marbella, beautiful little resort on the Mediterranean, so I can appreciate it. I'm torn because I love Italy. And candidly, I go back to Italy quite frequently because that's where my roots are, you know. But anyway, appreciate very much your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
Maybe you and I have a contest to get you back to Spain.
Okay.
I mean, I'm serious.
I will take the
let me give some thought about that.
Okay.
Put something in writing and we'll digest it together.
All right.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you, Bruce.